I just launched a newsletter and grew it to 5,000 subscribers in less than 48 hours. And in this video, I'm going to reveal the secret tactic I used and show you the full 5-step playbook that you can use to launch your newsletter with thousands of subscribers on day one. Let's jump in. Imagine I'm starting a new newsletter. My target audience is out there, the people I want to subscribe to the newsletter. And I know that if I can just make these people aware of my newsletter, they're gonna love it. But reaching them super hard. To get my newsletter in front of people, I need to spend a lot of money, a lot of time, or both. And speaking as a lazy person who doesn't like to burn cash, that sucks. I don't want to wait months to get my first few thousand newsletter subscribers. And chances are, you don't want to wait either. Luckily, there's a secret cheat code, because even though I don't have my target audience's attention yet, other creators do. And whoever you're writing your newsletter for, chances are they already read other amazing newsletters written by other creators. Think about it for a second. For your target audience, what are the top newsletters they already read? And how many subscribers do those newsletters have? 100,000? A million? More? If those newsletter creators wanted to, they could tell their audiences about your newsletter with the click of a button. You'd get thousands of subscribers for free. But how do you make that happen? How do you make the top creators in your space want to promote your newsletter to their audience? That's what I did for the launch of my new newsletter. 15 of the top creators in the space shared my newsletter with their audience, and they drove over 5,000 new subscribers for free in the first 2 days alone. Why did they do that? Because I nailed the 3 key factors for getting anyone to share your stuff. Number 1, likability. I built a relationship that made those creators want to see me succeed. Number 2, value. I gave them something valuable to share with their audience. And number 3, reward. I made sure that sharing would lead to a positive business result for them. Okay, great. Sounds simple. Now, how do I do it? Here's the exact 5-step playbook that I followed. Step 1, I made a list of the top 20 creators with an email list in my space. What newsletters and content is your audience already consuming? If you don't already know this, that's a big red flag that you need to spend more time with your audience and understand them better before even trying to create content for them. Honestly, you could do a list of more than 20. 30 to 50 would be even better, but I've got a full-time business to run and this is just a side project. Now on to step 2. My goal was to make a positive impression on those 20 creators that I chose. So first, I made sure that I was subscribed to all their newsletters and I was following them on social. Second, for the 2 weeks before my newsletter launch, I made a really conscious effort to get the attention of those creators in a positive way. I'd reply to their newsletters with positive feedback about stuff I liked, and I'd comment on tweets or LinkedIn posts if I agreed with them. And honestly, this is all stuff that you should be doing as a newsletter creator on a weekly basis anyway. Relationships are so important for increasing the luck surface area and unlocking doors in the future. Plus, to serve your own audience well, you really need to understand what else they're reading. Step 3. For this step, you need to understand something super annoying about newsletters. People love to read them, but they hate signing up for them. Newsletters are this vague promise of some value sometime in the future. But to get someone to actually trust you with their email address today, most of the time, you've got to give them something valuable right now. So if I went out to this target list of 20 creators and I asked them to share my newsletter with their audience, chances are most of those creators are going to say no. And even the ones that say yes, they're not really going to drive many signups because people don't love signing up for newsletters. So I needed a different tactic. I needed to create a lead magnet. Something that's free and valuable or interesting enough that my target creators would want to share it with their audiences. And something that those audiences would want enough to give me their email address in return for access. Now, there are loads of different lead magnets that could work for your audience. Free courses, quizzes, tools, templates, all great options, but I didn't have time to put any of those things together. So I went for an easy option, a library of newsletter landing page examples instead. With the help of a virtual assistant, I quickly put together a super useful library of more than 300 newsletter landing page examples. And to unlock access, visitors would need to enter their email address and join the newsletter. Step 4. So now we've got 2 of the big 3 ingredients. We've got 20 creators who hopefully want to see me succeed, and we've got an awesome free library that their audience is gonna love. Now, all I needed was a way to guarantee that sharing would be a win-win. that I wouldn't be the only one getting value, that the creator would also be getting some kind of reward or some value too. And here's where I got a little bit creative with a tactic I've never seen any other newsletter creator use before: a newsletter recommendations widget. Here's how it works. In theory, 20 partner creators are going to recommend my lead magnet to their audience. Their audience will click on the link and enter their email address to get access to the library. And right after subscribing, they're going to see my recommendations widget pop up, which is powered by Sparkloop. And in that widget, I'll recommend they subscribe to my partner creators' newsletters too. You can recommend up to 5 newsletters at a time, and on average, about 20% of subscribers will actually opt in to each of those recommendations. So again, in theory, if each creator sends me 100 new subscribers, they'll also each get 100 new subscribers back via the recommendations widget from the other 19 creators. In other words, by recommending me to their audience and helping to grow my newsletter, they'll also be growing their own newsletters at the same time. And that is a true win-win. In step 5, all that's left was to put the plan into motion. I DM'd or I emailed all 20 creators that I wanted to partner with, explaining the plan. And you can grab the exact message template that I used in the description if you want to use it yourself. 15 of those 20 creators replied and agreed to share my lead magnet within 48 hours of the launch date. But would they actually do it? And would it actually work? Well, to maximize my chances of success, I made it really easy for them to do a good job. One day before launch, I sent out this reminder email here with a direct link to the lead magnet and a reminder of why they should share. I even included some suggested text and some graphics that would make it easier for them to do a good job. And a quick side note here, you might say, oh, well, of course this worked for you, Louis. You already have an audience and you have a relationship with these creators. But the truth is, I purposefully picked at least 10 creators who had no idea who I was and zero reason to help me out, because I wanted to see if this tactic can actually work for anyone, even for someone who's just starting out from scratch with no audience at all. And it absolutely can. To do this, you do not need an existing audience at all, although obviously it does help. Let's get to the results. In total, I invited 20 creators to partner with me. 15 of those agreed, and of those 15, 12 actually followed through and shared my library with their audience, in emails and on social media. And then something kind of awesome happened. A chain reaction. At least 10 other creators who I had never contacted before saw all of these awesome creators recommending my library, and they decided it must be kind of cool. It must be worth recommending to their own audience too. Fast forward to 48 hours after launch, and those 12 creators had driven 5,178 new subscribers to my newsletter. But I know what you're thinking. Oh, Louis, those subscribers came from a lead magnet. They signed up to get something free, not to read the newsletter. I bet they aren't even really engaged, valuable readers. Wrong. My first newsletter send that I sent to that audience had a 73.4% open rate and a 46% click to open rate. Now, I don't monetize the newsletter at all yet, but 3 of those subscribers have already reached out to me asking if they could sponsor it, and 2 have asked if I offer paid consulting. So just to be clear, there is absolutely nothing wrong with using a lead magnet. You just need to make sure that anyone opting into the lead magnet would also be interested in your newsletter content. Now, that leaves us with just one big question. What kind of newsletter should you start? Well, here are $5 million newsletter ideas that you can start this weekend. Thanks for watching.